Every one of us has forgotten that we're an immortal being. That's what happens when we come here. I call it I amnesia. We forget who I am. Yoga is particularly concerned with renewing our understanding of who we really are. And the first thing we learn is Aham Brahmasmi. I am an immortal being. I cannot die. So the first learning in yoga is you can't die. And you start from there. Therefore, you excuse yourself from time. Now, that doesn't mean time is gone. It only means you no longer think of yourself as a byproduct of time or a byproduct of Prakriti, the world of matter. So instead, you see yourself as a being on a long journey inside of a place that is always changing. So your question's about that changeability. It's about kala. It's about how does time affect the journey. And this is where jyotish comes in. Now imagine that this is not us, it's our body. We already know it has different departments. We know it has a stomach and a heart and a spleen and a liver. So what if those are departments of our being? Makes sense. I could talk to my spleen with doing one thing and to my liver with another. That's what medicine's all about. So what if our karma is something that we made in past that we've forgotten? So I call it I amnesia. We've forgotten who I am. And we don't remember what we did in a previous life. So jyotish is the UPS. You may not have that where you are. Here it's called universal parcel system. I call it the universal parcel system because every one of us ordered something from the life catalog in a previous life. And that is on its way to us, and the truck may just be outside your door to deliver a package of karma that you created previously. So jyotish, on one level, is all about the delivery schedule of our karma. Now, scale that up, and right now, where I live, we had snow last night. We had about 2 inches of snow. This morning, it's gone because we're on the edge of Kali Yuga, or winter. Kali Yuga and Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga, the yugas are just the seasons of the larger cosmos having a change of seasonal experience. So the word that we need in English is entropy. In autumn, all the leaves fall off the trees where we live here because we have noticeable seasons. So autumn signals winter is coming. Winter is not the time to go sunbathing. Winter is more difficult. In winter, you have to do this and do this and do this. So Kali Yuga is the cosmic winter.
Wow, it's the first time I hear this kind of explanation. Amazing.
So therefore, it's not bothering everyone the same, but it means there's a general entropy that means things fall apart easier in Kali Yuga, but they blossom wonderfully in Satya Yuga. And so the Yuga cycles as they decline, and as it's the entropy of time. Of course, Kali Yuga is 432,000 years long. And then we double that to get to the next Yuga and add 432 again to get to the next one. So this means that one of the things that comes to us as we become yogis is a long view of time. What the Abrahamic religions of Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and modern science have in common is they still only believe in one lifetime. So you could divide the world into two camps. Only one lifetime, very frightened or cynical, and many, 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 many lifetimes, So the way I like to say it is there's born again Christians, and then there's born again and again and again and again and again Hindus. So astrology is the weather report, and it goes on one scale depending upon the planet you're on and then where on the planet you are, and then the social history of the place and whether it's in an upswing or a downswing in its particular identity. So think of it another way. Countries have birth charts.
Yeah.
So a country comes into being at a certain time. So in a way, the moment it came into being is its birth chart and tells some of its karma. Then the people living inside the country are inside the karma of the country. They don't all agree, but they're being dragged along. If there's a war, they get dragged along. They didn't want the war, but they're still in the war.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of winter for them. So it's a language, all of this, of talking about time in a way that our civilizations have never even considered talking about it. And that's one of the things that makes the Vedic yogic culture so interesting, is they have a very long view of time. And here's the most interesting thing. The Ramayana and the Mahabharata, the two great historical texts, have astronomical information that proves they happened 12,000 years ago and 5,000 years ago. So there's actual proof in the texts because the texts describe where the stars were at a particular moment, and that tells you exactly what time in history it was. And that is one of the characteristics that's only true in the Vedas. The Bible doesn't have it, the Quran doesn't have it, Torah doesn't have it, none of the ancient texts have it, no other civilization has it. And that's because no one else has a language as perfect as Sanskrit. So perfection in passing on knowledge, mathematics and astronomy are all part of the knowledge that India had for 12,000, 15,000, for actually many more years. But provably, the Ramayana was written 12,000 years ago, or it happened 12,000 years ago.
According to astrological events.
No. Well, according to astronomical events.
Astronomical, yes.
Yeah, because astrological could be subjective.
Yeah,
astronomical means in the Ramayana, there's a description of the sky that with computers we can backdate to 12,000 years ago. It's science. It's not conjecture. It's not faith. It's not religion. It's science.